welcome to a classic TFL matchup review, and to my left is my man Alex from Alex on Autos. And Alex, what are you driving today?
I am driving a 2018 Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadrifoglio, which is quite a mouthful.
That is, and I've got a Mercedes-Benz AMG GLC 63.
Yes.
That's also a mouthful. And how much does yours cost?
Mine is $85,000.
And mine is $87,000.
And mine's a better value than yours.
All right, yours is a better value, but by the end of this review, we're going to tell you which one we would buy if it were our money. And that is coming up right now on the Fast Lane Car. So under the hood of this AMG, of course, is a ruddy big 4-liter V8 with two turbos nestled in between the V to give it better performance. Puts out 469 horsepower, 479 pound-foot of torque, and it is mated to a 9-speed automatic with paddle shifters. What do you got, Alex?
I have a 2.9 liter turbocharged 6-cylinder engine, so it's a little bit smaller than what's over there, but more power, 505 horsepower, 443 pound-feet of torque, and a Ferrari pedigree, because they basically took a California V8 and they lopped 2 cylinders off it. It's a 90-degree V6, which I think is hilarious. It's even labeled right here as 90 degrees, even though the optimal angle for a V6 really is 60 degrees. As a result, this doesn't idle as smoothly as that V8, but it does give us more power and 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds.
Now my 0 to 60 is 3.8-ish or 3.9 seconds, but you know what? I mean, who can tell the difference between 3.6 and 3.8? Right? There's really only one way to find out which of these engines is better, and that is a rev battle. Now for all you Mercedes-Benz fans, you'll know that there's a coupe version of this, the S, which gets a little bit more power, but I gotta tell you, style-wise, this looks like a compact luxury crossover on steroids. It feels like a Mercedes that went to the gym and pumped me up. I mean, look at those huge tires, look at that huge grille. Is it stylish? Kind of in a I wanna punch you in the face sort of way.
I don't know, Roman, this front end kind of looks like someone was inflating a balloon and they just blew a little bit too far. It's a little too inflated. Alfa definitely went for lifted hatchback with the Stelvio. We have this raked rear window right there. Overall, the side style definitely screams more hatchback than traditional crossover, so we don't really have anything very square going on there. I love, love, love these wheels. Huge brake calipers on there, obviously painted red, because that adds extra horsepower. We have these shark gill functional hood vents right here. I really love those. And then up front, unfortunately, we don't find LED headlamps. I think that is really disappointing on the Stelvio. We only have HID headlamps. The overall look is very angry up front. This is an awful lot angrier than that Mercedes right there. We have this huge, very distinctive Alfa Romeo grille going on right there.
You know, Alex, I agree. This Alfa is certainly angry. Kind of like an angry bird. No, make that a very pissed off bird. Hey, Alex, what's the size difference between these two cars?
Only an inch. This is 1 inch shorter than the Stelvio.
Really? Because the Mercedes feels like a compact crossover, whereas that feels like a mid-size crossover. But if you're saying it's an inch, let's see how much room there is. Now I'm going to adjust this to where I normally drive, and you tell me if I'm going to scrunch you, okay? All right, fair enough. Let's try that in the Alfa Romeo. Hey Alex, I got plenty of room back here. Are you sitting where you normally drive?
I am not. Let's move that back there.
Whoa.
We have a little less room, I think, in this one.
You know, it's not bad though with this big panoramic sunroof and the fact that this vehicle is, what, 2 inches higher off the ground? Wonder why that is.
I don't know. Stelvio's crazy high, actually, off the ground.
There's a lot of, like, pretty quirky things about this. Let's go through a good, bad, and weird on each of these cars.
Sounds good. Or bad.
Here's a good, bad, and weird about this Mercedes-Benz. The good has got to be this 4-liter twin-turbo V8 that is one of the best engines in the automotive world. Not only is it fast, not only is it fun, but when you put your foot in it, it's also very furious. In other words, it's very fast. The bad has got to be this infotainment system, specifically the way that you interface with it. When you have both a rotary knob and a touchpad to interface with your entertainment system, that to me says you quite haven't figured out how to best design the system yet. And the weird has got to be that there are two versions of this vehicle. There's a GLC 63 and the GLC 63S. Now the S gets 40 more horsepower, and in America it comes only as a coupe. Why not just make all of them the S? That seems like a win-win.
The good for the Stelvio has to be the exhaust note. It is simply pure sex, whether you're in the dynamic mode or the normal mode, and it gets even better in race mode, sort of like good sex. As with the Mercedes, the infotainment system really is the weakness in this cabin. The screen is smaller than many of the competition. We don't have a touchpad controller, we just have this little rotary controller here, although we thankfully do finally get Apple CarPlay in this dash. It still is a really weak point in this cabin. Oh, perfect song too. The weird has to be that there is no button to simply activate the loud exhaust, which everybody who drives this wants. In order to get it, you have to put it in race mode, which turns off the stability control and the pre-collision warning.
Hey guys, this video is brought to you by the Automotive Video Association, which is made up of some of the coolest cars and some of the coolest YouTube video reviewers that you can find anywhere. If you're interested...
I'm cool, Roman?
Alex is cool. If you're interested in watching great reviews of some of the coolest cars by my man Jason here.
I live my life 1/4 mile at a time.
All you have to do is visit their YouTube channels.
Turn me on, Roman.
And check out these great car reviews, because not only do we have the coolest cars, but Nick,
we have the coolest individuals, as you can see, my little bastion of England.
So check out the AVAs, and thank you for watching this video, and be sure to check out all of the reviews that all these guys are producing. Okay. You do have to love just how much acceleration without turbo lag this car gives you.
Yes. I think that's the big difference between this and the Stelvio. The Stelvio definitely has a little bit of turbo lag at the bottom end, because it's a little bit of wait for it, then bam.
Yeah, whereas this thing, I think because they put the turbos into the V, at least that's what Mercedes will tell you, right? The distance that the hot air has to travel into the cylinders is much shorter, so you don't have as much turbo lag.
Although those are in the V as well, but it's a smaller displacement, higher boost. You know, this one's got more low end torque, it's a bigger displacement.
And I'll tell you, we're not obviously on a racetrack here, but this thing is dead planted, right? It feels like I am glued to the road taking these corners. It is very athletic in its approach to the driving experience.
It's within the realm of possibility, and you don't have a less practical sports car. You have something that's still practical, you can drive every day. There's a logic to that, I think.
You know, Alex, I don't think people care about fuel economy when they buy these, but they might. So mine is 16 in the city, 22 on the highway, 18 combined.
And I'm a little bit better, 17, 23, 19 combined.
Winner, Alfa Romeo.
Yep, V6 for the win.
If you care about that when you're buying an $85,000 car. You might.
You might.
You might.
If you're on a budget.
All right, so now we're in the Stelvio. To me, it feels bigger. I know it's only an inch longer, but it just feels bigger. It feels like we've got more room between us. It feels like it's just much taller, which it is, obviously.
I think the interior in the GLC makes you feel like a bigger person. It's like the interior feels small. Kind of like the Camaro that way.
How does it drive?
This drives a little tighter, I think, than the AMG. It's a little bit less polished, but a little bit more exciting. The shift pedals, I think, are way better.
Yeah.
And the noise is absolutely incredible. It's like, I just find myself putting this thing in manual mode and just shifting all the time just so I can hear it pop and snarl at me. It's kind of like a Lucky Charm mixed with a Rice Krispie. The four-leaf clover that snap, crackles, and pops.
The other thing I'm not, enamored by are the seats. They're pretty highly bolstered. For a big guy like me, I'm a little...
I love them.
Yeah? You like that?
Love the seats.
You must have I've got a bigger ass than you, apparently.
My dainty posterior. One thing I don't like about this car, though, is that once all of the fun and the shifting is gone, done, and you're like, I just want to go to work, and you put this in advanced efficiency, which is a hilarious name for a drive mode in a sports car, then the sound is not as pleasing as the Mercedes. It doesn't have that V8 burble to it, and when you're stopped at the stoplight, it kind of idles like a tractor.
All right, Alex, these cars are remarkably similar. So if it were your money, $85,000, which would you get?
Am I leasing it or am I buying it?
You're buying it, dude. You are buying it. You are going in. It's cash.
I would get the Mercedes.
Why?
I'd have to buy the Mercedes. It's probably going to be a little bit more reliable. The interior, I think, is put together a little better. Both infotainment systems aren't my cup of tea, but the one in the Mercedes is better than what we have in the Alfa, and it's also a little bit more practical all the way around, I think.
I get the Alfa. You know why?
Why?
Because you said it. It sounds like makeup sex when you floor it.
I have to say that although I would buy the Mercedes, I would always be wondering what it was like in the Alfa, and I would always be jealous of someone driving the Alfa.
Well, guys, check out more of Alex's reviews. Where?
Alex Nautos?
Yep. And of course, come back to tflcar.com for more news, views, and of course, real world reviews with my man Alex. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Ciao. I think this is real carbon fiber.
Yes, it's real.
Yeah.
But it's pointless.
But real.
Because it's not actually saving weight, because carbon fiber is so much lighter than the wood trim.
But it looks badass.
That shaves 1/100 of a second off right there by making that carbon fiber.